accidentally came across child porn related searches in the search history of the family computer. I don't know who looked it up, but I'm scared. Hi, I'm 17F in a family of 5, 7F, 10M, 15M, and Dad. I just wanted to look into the search history for a web page I needed on the family computer. But I saw all this porn stuff. Well, I was curious and looked through all of the search results next to it. It was weird stuff. But hey, I don't judge. Then I saw it. The child porn related search results. 4th grade naked nude parents in front of teen nude kids, real little kids sucking dick, and much, much more. What the actual fuck? I don't know who it is that searched this up, obviously not little sister. But I'm worried. I don't know where to go from here either. I can't say this is normal even if my youngest brother was the one to search it. What do I do? Edit. I saw comments about looking at the searches besides the porn, so I did just that. Although it's a mix of both my brothers, I very much suspect that it is my youngest brother. I don't know how he would have the time to look these things up away from everyone else though. I'm going to keep a close eye on the search history for the next week. I found other things too. Not that it's very important, but most of it is gay porn, and he has always been extremely uncomfortable by LGBTQ. Lots of BDSM, porn searches of old people, cannibalism, severed body parts, pictures of abortions. I seriously cannot imagine who would look those last few up. I'm shocked honestly. Edit 2. After resting on it, I am 99% sure it's my youngest brother. Thank you for all of your help and advice. I really needed it since I was freaking out and not in the headspace to think of the obvious. I'm kind of embarrassed I posted about it now, but at least I got my answer. I'll tell my dad about it and let him take care of the rest. Again, thank you guys. When I was a kid, I searched for porn of girls my age. Jesus, I got lucky no one caught me doing that. I'd bet money it's your little brother. You have a 10 years old and someone searching specifically for 4th grade. There seems to be a correlation there. I'm not sure what to advise you to do about it, but I would note that those searches sound pretty childish, honestly. And I would also note that 10-year-olds are often in the 4th grade. Have you considered the possibility that it might be your 10-year-old brother? If he spends a lot of time online, he may be savvy enough to kind of know what to search for, but not smart enough to hide it. It's still cause for concern, of course, and would make me concerned that he is being groomed, but I wouldn't just automatically jump to it being your dad like most of the comments on here seem to want to do. Your dad might at least know how to use an incognito window on the family computer, even if he doesn't clear the browser history regularly. Yeah, I agree with this. I remember looking up 11-year-old naked when I was 11 and I'm getting flashbacks. Smiley face. Thinking about it now, I really put my family at risk with that lol. My first thought is that it's your 10-year-old brother, just because I feel like most adults would have the common sense to not be looking for that Google. Discuss it with your dad. It's unlikely he is the one doing it, sounds more like one of the brothers. Regardless, your dad needs to know so he can deal with it. This is above your pay grade. It's his responsibility to protect all of you from this, even the one who did it. BF, 22N, had sex act with me, 21F, while I was on pain meds and recovering from surgery. Friends say I was raped. I say he just pushed boundaries and want to put the whole thing behind me. For some background, I was supposed to have my wisdom teeth removed in May. Original doctor would not do it because of COVID, got a second opinion, and that lady said I could wait a year or possibly not have them removed at all. Middle of last month one got impacted and it was the most agonizing pain I've ever felt in my life, and emergency notice had all four removed. While I was recovering, my boyfriend was over and I was completely out of it on pain pills. He's always wanted to have anal sex. I'm not opposed to it but want to work up to it. He asked me if I thought I might be able to try since I was in the pain pills, and I thought he was joking, so I said sure, but then said no way. The timeline is a little hazy, but it seemed like in seconds he was on top of me with his dick in my butt, and I screamed no so loud my mom heard it from the other side of the house. It hurt so freaking bad, but he finished in maybe 5 seconds, so it didn't last long. He thought I was upset because it didn't last long enough for me to enjoy it, and I was upset because he took advantage of me. But we have talked about it many times since, and I feel like it was at worst him pushing some boundaries, at best it was a miscommunication because of the pain meds. I have a group of 3 friends who are literally like my sisters. There isn't anything I would do for them and then for me. However, they are all convinced he raped me, and now they refuse to be around them because they fear for their own safety. I love them to death, but I think they are being a little dramatic. My boyfriend is worried that they are going to say something and ruin his life, and he wants me to stop hanging out with them. This isn't possible since we've been friends for 13 years, but I agree with him that I don't think his life needs to be ruined over this. I just want things to go back to the way they were before this went down and everyone is just cool with each other. How do we do that? Edit. On Saturday afternoon, nearly everyone said what I didn't want to admit to myself, that I was raped. I'm having a very hard time using that word that described what happened to me, because while I knew my BF was not perfect, I really did, maybe do, love him. I had not spoken with him since I posted this, and he blew up my phone all day and night wondering where I was. I called him back this morning and told him that we really need to talk this Saturday afternoon. He started freaking out at first, asking me if what happened last week was what this talk was going to be about. I said yes. He then started screaming at me that how could you let your cunt friends talk you into something that just didn't happen. I told him they hadn't said anything about it. He then threatened me and them, basically saying that if anything happens to his career we will all regret it. I then asked him if that meant he was actually breaking up with me, and he told me that no, he loved me too much to ever break up with me. I asked him how could he threaten me and my friends like that and still say with the same mouth that he loved me. He was speechless for a minute and asked me what I was going to do. I said I didn't know. He then said something like make the right choice and hung up. Obviously we are broken up and I wish I could say I feel good about it, but I don't. I'm very lost and confused. You're screaming in pain and he finishes in 5 seconds. What would be a boner killer for any normal person actually helped him speed things up. And now he wants you to cut contact with the people who are trying to protect you from him. Run. Your friends aren't being dramatic and you're making excuses for something horribly traumatic. He raped you. The fact that your boyfriend is so worried about your friends saying something just shows that he knows exactly what he did. He's gaslighting and manipulating you to think that this was all a misunderstanding. You were under the influence of drugs. Your boyfriend was aware of that, asked for sex anyways, and then he assaulted you. You can never fully consent while under the influence, and he took advantage of that. I hope your friends can get through to you, and I hope that you're able to work through this and get this rapist away from you. Sex without consent is rape. Yup, and even though she said yeah whatever, she was drugged, so it doesn't count. What? When I had my wisdom teeth out, my boyfriend, now husband, drove me to the pharmacy and cleaned up my bloody drool and listened to me complain about not being able to poop. He fed me ice cream and tucked me in. Your boyfriend is a huge creep, who TF-ainly rapes someone recovering from surgery while their mom is home. Exclamation mark. Right? The fact that the guy's first thought wasn't oh my poor girlfriend just had surgery and her face is swollen and she's on strong pain meds because otherwise she'd be in agony. It was hey maybe I can get my penis in her bum. Doesn't paint him in a positive light in the first place. What he did was reprehensible. My boyfriend is worried that they are going to say something and ruin his life, and he wants me to stop hanging out with them. On top of what he did, he wants to isolate you from your friends and support network. Triangular flag on post. 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 He took advantage of you when you were out of it on pain meds. What's he going to do if you get drunk? Has he apologized? Is he remorseful? You didn't mention it, so I guess not. Does he understand how much he hurt you? Did he stop immediately? It doesn't sound like it. I understand that you might not want to call this rape, but that's what this looks like. It's not a stranger in the bushes. It's a boyfriend who takes advantage when you can't consent. It's the guy not stopping when you're screaming. Can you ever trust him again? I feel like an asshole because I hate the person my friend is transitioning into. I, 29 NB, have a friend, 23, who is transitioning to female. I met her prior to her transition when she was my boyfriend's roommate. They had a lot in common at the time and it was easy and fun to hang out with her because all we did was watch dumb videos and shit on YouTube and talk about conspiracy theories and such. She was hardworking and ambitious. Like she was a freelance programmer who saved enough money up as a high schooler to move across the country, find a place to live and find a job with zero help. When I met her she had a girlfriend who was kind of just a standard sorority girl but nice enough. AMD they were both there when my boyfriend's daughter was born. We have a long history with her pre-transition. Last January she broke up with her girlfriend and then began to transition. I am supportive of her being true to herself and living however makes her happy, but I hate being around her now. If we watch an anime with like a hot chick, that's me. If we play a video game with a hot character look, it's me. Every time. She is constantly comparing her looks against other women, cis or otherwise, and if she thinks she is cuter than whoever she is comparing herself to, she will just talk trash about how they need to try harder. I am literally afraid to do my own makeup around her because she'll ask what I am doing and then tell me how I am doing it wrong. I am literally a licensed hair, skin, and nails professional. I went to school to do makeup and hair. She lost her job a while back and has just been existing on my couch. She doesn't clean up after herself, she doesn't help with the baby. If anything, she acts as though my child 18 months is somehow making her life harder. I feel bad for not liking her anymore. Like I knew she was gonna change a bit, but like she changed into the type of girl that I would have avoided if I were out in the world looking to make friends. I feel like I am an asshole, but she is literally so toxic now. TL, doctor. My friend transitioned into a mean girl and I am not sure if I am being an asshole in thinking that about her. For everyone telling Op to wait it out. Fuck that. Would you wait it out if it was a cis woman who suddenly turned nasty and got an attitude? No. You would nip it in the bud or dump the friend. Op, sit her down and tell her exactly what she's doing and how it's affecting you, and that she either has to knock it off or you're no longer going to be her friend. She doesn't get a pass to be an ass just because she's transitioning, and she doesn't get special treatment because of it either. She's being a dick. End of. I honestly feel that a ton of people just flat out missed that part that says this person is couch surfing under Op's roof. It's the only thing that makes sense to me. This sounds like pretty typical baby trans stuff, and I feel for you because Lord knows I was annoying as hell when I first came out. My advice as a fellow trans person is try and ignore the "that's me" type stuff and focus on roommate boundaries and not talking down other people, especially other trans women. That's not gonna make her any friends. It's possible she's just a mean girl, but it's also possible that she's scared and dysphoric and propping herself up with this attitude because this is hard. Regardless, as she settles she'll probably mellow out. Also, next time she tries to come at you specifically over your appearance, tell her she's being hurtful to her face and see how she reacts. And focus on roommate boundaries. Maybe I'm just being cold and callous here, but they aren't really roommates, right? To me at least, roommates means there is at least some kind of split in terms money/contribution. That doesn't seem to be the case here. The friend is literally just a guest, 100% mooching off of Op, while being toxic to her. Not saying anything you said was wrong per se, just that it feels a bit too soft to me. This needs to be nipped in the bud with more direct action. Again, maybe I'm just being heartless, but I feel as a guest, there should be a pretty short leash IRT negativity tolerance. Edit, want to emphasize that I'd agree fully with your advice if she was a friend living separately or an actual roommate. Since she is a couch surfer, more bluntness is required. Imho.